if ever for a moment that someone thinks that project managers ain't going to bat for homeowners, they've lost their mind. Because you guys, I mean, like, like it's daily. Like, there's something going on there, like, hey, this is this way or this is that way, and the project manager's like, that's not going to work. Like, this is what we've got to make this happen. And I think it's just it attributes to the core value model, because we care more about the people than we do the product. But also, it just talks like it's the quality of people that we have, man, and the fact that you've been here since the beginning. Because with anything with growth, like, you're scaling into things and you're growing. And one thing that I'd say that you kind of embraced is the always growing part of the business is, like, when there's a change, you're one of the first people that's in there, like, learning that change and embracing that change and championing that change and, like, taking it out and rolling it out, like, not getting left in the dust, and so a lot of people get stuck in their ways, and they're just kind of like, oh man, I can't do it that way, or like, that's not the way we used to do it. And you never once have you had that approach. You've always just kind of embraced it and grown tremendously in the company, from being, like I say, our right-hand man out on job sites with Ross, like, co-constructing, to now, like I say, you're basically leading the charge every market we go in, with going and training up crews to be able to keep up with the production, but also maintain the integrity of the product that we have. And that's been super cool to experience this. So let's talk a little bit about this. Like, how did you get into construction? Like, what drew you into this world?
I didn't plan for it. But I mean, I've been in construction since I was like 13 years old. Well, my uncles, they been in construction. My father-in-law and brother-in-law, they build custom houses. And I always like build things, So from there, it's always been like kind of my background. Like I said before, I started working in concrete, grading, and framing. So I've been here and there. And one day, Ross calls me, and he's like, hey, we're going to build barndominium. I was like, what is that? And just come to my office. I was like, okay. I pull up, just still like a 5x5 little office. Or
the broom closet.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, at that time I was working, doing concrete, and I was like, okay. He showed me, he pulled up a plan. He was like, this is what you got to build. I was like, okay. The biggest thing about me is, like, if I don't know it, I got people that know it.
Right.
So he was like, can you do it? I'm like, yeah, totally, yeah. I was like, he was like, okay, here you go. And then from there, I think we built 2 houses, and then I was like, hey, I got trained by one of the guys, and then I was like, hey, just let me do it. I think I got it now. And from there, it's just been like what it is now.
Oh, dude, if ever there was someone who came in and learned the system, and again, we were kind of doing traditional pole barn framing, and then we were trying to build this model to shift into what we now is standard. And that's kind of when you came in, and so you were learning with those crews and stuff like that, and putting that brain to work of how in the world can we take that concept but morph it into this so that we can build more. And you champion that. So let's talk like the opportunity here, So like you came in, just kind of like laboring with us, and then from that you've kind of advanced from ground up in our company to where now you're like a staple name. Like there ain't nobody that works inside this company that doesn't know who Mario is, And there's several clients, like I say, that are raving fans of Mario. Talk a little bit about that, like coming into this company, hearing about it from the very beginning when we decided, like, hey, we're going to champion barndominium building in South Carolina. That day one, you're in there, you're meeting with us, and, we're pole barn building, we got roofing and exteriors and all these different things, and then we just honed all that down into one. You're like day one employee that comes in to kind of head up that division. We had no idea at that time that it would become this.
Yeah.
But kind of talk about that, because a lot of times what happens is, like, you have growth in a company, and obviously sometimes people who got you here won't get you there, but you've managed to, again, embrace change, always learning, always growing, and you've literally climbed up through our organization to where you're one of the top leaders in our production side. So, like, talk a little bit about that. Like, what's that been like for you over the last 3 years?
It's been a life changer, man. Especially because now I have more time where literally I can set my own schedule where hey, my kid got a game Saturday or tomorrow. I can work, I'll set my schedule, hey, I got to do this before this, and just the freedom that you have here, you don't have it nowhere else. And like you say, you here in this company, you will never be left in the dust. There's always opportunity to grow. You just gotta learn, and just as long as you keep working and like never like giving up, just keep doing you. And that's what I did, and I guess he brought me here.
Thanks, guys, for tuning in to the Barndo Show podcast. If you're watching on YouTube or wherever you're listening to this content, hit subscribe so you don't miss an episode. And then be sure to check us out on all of our social media platforms at the Barndo Co. Super simple to find us. And then when you're ready to dive in a little more, maybe look around some of our available floor plan options, or take a look at the gallery of our work, or maybe you're ready to connect with our team and explore what it looks like to build your dream barndominium, you can visit us online at thebarndoco.com.